Are you tired of seeing my face? Welcome to the Rewatch Ryan YouTube channel. My name is Ryan Snelling. Don't answer that question. I apologize for the whiplash I'm giving all of my viewers, but I did want to update you all even further on my Schmoes Know Collider Kristian Harloff coverage that I've done over the last couple of days. Now, to make sure everybody's caught up, I originally posted a video covering my time working with Collider, Schmoes Know, what it was like to host after shows during 2016 and 2018. I reacted to an episode of Collider Live. It had a segment that was dedicated entirely to me, and it was not fun. And I spoke in real time what it was like to experience it, what it was like to work for both of those companies without pay from 2,000 miles away, just me and my best friend. It was a really interesting time. I think I painted a pretty clear picture with that video. I posted a video yesterday talking about how my feelings sort of evolved throughout the day, my decision to privatize that original video. First of all, I want to make sure everybody knows right now, I made that video public again. So that's why I'm apologizing for the whiplash. So right now, both videos are up, and this is going to supplement and tie it all together. Not once and for all. I'm not going to say this is an ending. It's another update, another chapter in this story. So I don't know what this video is called yet. I don't know what the thumbnail looks like. I'm sure it's very YouTube-y and very catchy. Kristian Harloff reached out to me today via text because he has seen both of my videos. He reached out to me and we had a phone conversation. Now, before I get into the specifics of the phone call, I want to address you, the viewer. I've got two healthy comment sections. I've spent a lot of time reading through them, and I am overwhelmed by the amount of support I've been given from you all in various forms. There are people that support me no matter what and stand behind me and told me that they understand my thoughts and my actions towards this entire situation, and I appreciate that a lot. There are people who've shown me support that told me I shouldn't feel ashamed or I shouldn't feel beholden to the people who wronged me and that this is my story and I should let it be out and let it be public. I appreciate that too. There are also the people that have pushed back and are skeptical. And I think that's valid too. But I want to make sure everybody understands that I'm in a unique position and I don't have to PR things the way that John Campea does. Now, I don't know how you can not think I'm being genuine the first video, I don't know how that isn't like the most real thing you've seen in this space ever. Honestly. But I appreciate it because in my John Campea coverage and my Robert Meyer Burnett coverage, I've taught you should be skeptical and you should question what goes on behind the scenes. And because, it comes down to like having a relationship with something and then not. And as a Schmoes Know fan and as a Collider fan, I dealt with that too. And I wanted answers. And I was upset because I didn't have them. Or I felt like people came off artificially because they were tied to contracts. I'm not tied to contracts. The people were originally skeptical because they thought Collider or Schmoes Know or Kristian ordered a takedown. That not only did that not happen, but that's not what caused that video to go private in the first place. I was never a paid employee. I was never under contract in any way. And I'm not really sure how you dispute anything that I've said on the video because it can't be disputed. What I went through, that was a glimpse into what happened. Surprisingly enough, my phone call with Kristian wasn't really about the videos. Like, sure, he referenced things that I brought up because that was part of what we went through together. But it really just kind of came down to hearing each other out. I gave him details that he missed. He gave me details that I missed. He heard things that I had been wanting to get off my chest for years, things that I replied to you all in the comments. And look, a lot of you all told me a little bit more about the content that he's been making, and I didn't know. I've shut Kristian Harloff off from my life the last 3.5 years, and I have not kept up with him. Like every now and then, sure, he gets brought up like on TikTok, and I saw the Katie Sackhoff interview and things like that for sure. I've never had desire to keep track of it just because I didn't feel like I could. And look, I replied to this in the comment section. People told me about some of the personal stuff that he's talked about. People told me that he's talked about his experience with Collider. I didn't know about any of that. I also don't excuse it. And I told him this on the phone. I said it in the comment section. I sympathize it for sure. But what him and I went through together, it spanned too much of a time for that to justify it. And I think he understands that. And I appreciated hearing his newfound context, but also validating the things that I needed to validate and vice versa. And ultimately, it was a really constructive conversation. And I think it's important for people to know that. Another thing too is to the people that, told me that I should have the video up, that I folded, that I shouldn't have privatized the video. It just made me feel bad, guys. Like it wasn't worth it. And the fact that all of a sudden I was overwhelmed with all of this, it's weird. It's weird. So I didn't know what to do. And I have a much clearer picture now. And to the people that were right all along that I should be making this type of content, I agree. I have a much greater focus on this now. And I want to thank you all too, because if you guys had any hand in me working this out with Kristian, it was something that I didn't know how to do. And I talked about it previously, but look, even in the John Campea videos, I mentioned a few times, I didn't trust that I could have the conversation that I had with him today, because the person I remember wouldn't have heard me out the way that the person I spoke to today did. And it was like listening to a different person. And to give him credit, he told me that when he watched my videos, he said that he saw my perspective more than ever. He found himself involved in the video in a way that surprised me. And that's all I'll say to that. We basically ended the conversation. He asked me where we were going to leave off, and I couldn't answer the question. But I knew I was going to come home and make this video so that this story included this chapter as well. So again, I apologize for all the whiplash I'm giving to the viewers, but I feel like it was a win-win situation here. My content is going to live on, and I am not going to think twice about this anymore. Also, my relationship with Kristian moved a step in the right direction today. I give him a lot of credit for reaching out to me. I still plan on, I said it at the end of my original video, I still plan on making more reaction videos. And they're not all going to be negative, guys. I said that in the original video. I have positive videos I want to react to as well. But I am still going to make content from the perspective I come from. So here's what I can tell you. I've mentioned him several times. Jay Williams, my partner in crime in all these after shows, he has agreed to sit down with me and do a special edition podcast. I jokingly called it After Schmo and Collider Afterthoughts. We're going to post this very soon, and just he and I are going to talk through our experience together. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't know exactly what it's going to be yet, but Jay and I will record another After Schmo Collider Afterthoughts. I'm going to react to some other videos, some other things that we went through together, including other issues that I've had. But at the end of the day, what's important is that I feel better. You guys don't have to worry about me and the content, because it's still going to be around. And, I think ultimately finding healing through this, and also through the best way, which was just sorting this out person to person. And again, I owe the viewers a lot of things, because you've given me proper pushback. You probably pushed for our discussion here today, and whether you intended to or not, because there are people that are skeptical, and I get it, and I understand it. I'm just a person who makes decisions based on how he feels. And right now I feel like Ryan Snelling's got his groove back. I'm willing to lean into being the commentary on commentary guy. And I'm also just happier. So at the end of the day, guys, I appreciate you. Like, I literally can't believe the amount of support in various forms that I've gotten due to this. So thank you so much. I genuinely mean that. And it's really cool. So, anyway. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on the next one when I come up with another reason to talk about this.